Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Eric Turner. Today we're going to take a look at the Bills-Titans game, specifically the Bills offense, Josh Allen and the Bills offense, in that heartbreaking loss in Nashville. A 34-31 loss, but a game where the Bills offense put up 31 points, 417 yards, and I thought remained really patient and made plays when they needed to. Some of the things we're going to cover in this episode are how the Titans spun their coverages, how they forced Josh Allen to read high to low, to hold on to the ball late into a play as the defense spun their coverages, changed their safeties, disguised their coverages pre to post snap. They did some really nice things on the back end of their coverage, and it really complemented their front end of the play because they're not really a good pass rushing team. They have pieces, but as a unit, they're not all that good at rushing the passer. But the coverages on the back end forced Josh Allen to process a lot longer into the play than he's used to seeing, got him to hold the ball. Then you saw some of the pass rushers like Landry and Simmons get home late into a play. When Josh Allen saw the coverage quite well from pre to post snap, he got the ball out into the underneath areas, into those short areas from the 0 to 9 yard range. But the Titans rallied and tackled. They forced the Bills to matriculate the ball down the field and be patient. I thought Josh, for the most part, was patient. There weren't too many plays down the field, but when he did see an opportunity, he took it. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I thought he did a decent job. He obviously had some really good numbers in this game, completing up over 74% in the game and 350 plus yards. So he had a good game. Did he leave plays on the field? Absolutely. We're going to show you why and how that happened on the film. So without further ado, let's jump right into the film from this Bills-Titans matchup. All right, guys, the first play we're going to look at is the 3rd down and 3 play from the 5-yard line, the first red zone trip that ended in a field goal. This is a play that Josh tried extending and ended up having to throw it away. At the time, was a good decision with good coverage from the Titans. So here's the play concept. To the bottom of the screen, you have a curl swing that is taken away early in the play, but where I think Josh wants to go with the ball is to either Knox or Davis to the top of the screen. Davis has Molden, the rookie cornerback, on him, and he had a great game. You see him communicating right there, and I think they want to slow play Knox's route and make Molden and his teammate decide on the in and out bracket coverage. If Knox were to immediately on the release break out wide, I think Molden takes him and passes Davis to the Titans underneath player right there. But because of the release and slow play by Dawson Knox, it ends up just being man-on-man, no bracket coverage, no in and out coverage here. So they both get sticky in this coverage right here, and now the Bills really have nowhere to go. They wanted that switch to happen so that Josh could throw it right here on the in break to Davis, but good coverage, good communication from the Titans, and that forces Josh to try to extend the play. But the Titans do a good job in the pocket, and you'll see it from the end zone angle. Do a great job of setting the line of scrimmage right there, not letting Josh escape it initially, and they have a spy on him. You see that spy in the middle of the field, and he is able to track Josh Allen down. No one is able to uncover in the scramble drill, and Josh is forced to throw it away. Again, at the time, a good decision. So you can see the communication happening in the slot versus Knox. Good coverage here by the Titans. And again, watch the spy defender just waiting for Josh to leave the pocket. And all of these rushers doing a great job at the line of scrimmage, keeping him in the pocket and having their teammates, the defenders of the Titans in the secondary, plastered down in the low red zone. Just great work from the Titans. Josh tries making a play, but there's nothing there, so he smartly throws it away. So fast forward to the end of the first quarter, 3rd and 10 situation, ball on the 21-yard line. Bills are up 3-0. Bills come out in a 3-by-1 set, and they have Knox running a shallow drag. Again, 3rd and long, very good spin by the Titans. It confuses Josh just enough to get him to hold the ball and take the sack there. But I want to break it down from the top here because I really liked what the Titans did against Josh Allen. So as you can see, the Titans are showing 2 safeties deep. And on the snap, they stay in a too high look, but they rotate out, and it forces Josh to process all the way late into the play. So 3-by-1 set, Dawson Knox comes open on this play. And as the defense spins out, you see Bayard come down into the hook to curl area, and then the corner get deep. So it's still a too high look. It's just a different type of rotation, getting Josh to not only track the safeties, but try to figure out the rotation post-snap. So really good rotation into a Tampa 2 type look, and it forces Josh to hold on the ball just long enough when really he could just throw it to Dawson Knox. Yes, it's 3rd and 10, but you take those odds because if he catches the ball, he can do some damage after the catch, and Josh doesn't. He holds onto it and takes a sack. So you saw what they did on the back end of this play, but let's take a look at up front. So 3rd and long, the Titans show a different look with Landry right here off the line of scrimmage, but this has got to be an alert. He's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL right now. You have to be alert for games. He's off the line of scrimmage. It's likely some type of stunt or game, and that's exactly what happens. On the snap, you see him penetrate right across the face of Feliciano, and Feliciano is looking to pass him on. He's looking to pass him on to Morse, but because Morse has a guy over him, he has to be aggressive in his set right there and engage. So now as Landry's coming full tilt at him, he gets picked off, something that a lot of teams, especially the Patriots, Belichick, Vrabel, they used to do this all the time to Eric Wood. You can go talk to him about that. This was one of their specialties for Eric Wood because he was so athletic. They use pick plays against him. He gets picked off and ricochets off that block and into Josh Allen's face for the sack. So the Titans did just enough on the back end to force Josh Allen to process pre to post snap and try to process how they are spinning their coverages into that too high look. Got him to hold on to the ball, and then they had a little stun up front to create havoc on the pass protection to get the sack. 1st and 15, ball on the 15-yard line. Another red zone trip in the second quarter. This time, Bills up 3-0. Now, I said it last week when Sanders scored his touchdown on a very similar play. I just love this play design. A little different design here, but you still have the underneath route by McKenzie. You have that corner route by Sanders right there. And Sanders is wide open on this play. This is Josh Allen's probably most egregious miss in this game. He wishes he had this one back for sure. So you have misdirection here. Here comes McKenzie on the snap across the formation. You have a play action fake. And Josh Allen is now rolling to his left, and he has several options. Obviously, he has a flat route. He has a little under route. And then he has Sanders for a touchdown. Now, right here is where I think Josh would want to throw it. For some reason, he doesn't. I don't know if he thinks that maybe this guy can undercut it, but he's playing flat-footed and in the flats on that diagonal route by McKenzie. He doesn't have a shot to make that play deep, and so Josh decides not to throw it and ends up giving it to McKenzie for a short gain, but this was one he definitely wants back. This play was there for the taking, and he just missed Sanders for a touchdown. If you look at it from the end zone angle, maybe the pressure from the Titans, obviously they're leaving him unblocked, but you see the quick pressure up the middle against Feliciano. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I think with Josh's arm talent and athleticism, he would be able to get this throw off right there. You can see him kind of release like he's going to start the throwing motion. He has a shot right there to make that throw. His hips are in decent enough position where he can make that throw to Sanders for a touchdown. Big miss, though, on this play. So another red zone trip, 3rd and 10 here, ball on a 10-yard line. 12:13 on the clock in the second quarter. Bills are up 3-0. This is an incomplete pass to Diggs to the top of the screen. Bills send out an empty set, and they try running a spacing concept. A good zone beater versus the Titans' zone defense here. Titans do a great job of setting the picket fence right at the goal line. You know, if you're going to score a touchdown here, you're going to have to get up and over all 11 of their players here. But good pocket for Josh. At the top of the route, you see Diggs kind of push off. Probably should have been a flag. But there is some separation if the pass is optimally placed in a spot where Diggs can get to it, but it's a little low and outside, and it's got so much velocity on it. It's probably a tough catch for Diggs as he's coming out of the break. It's a tough track with him as he's turning around, initially having his back to Josh Allen and then having to turn and find the ball and trying to catch it with that type of velocity. But really it is a game of inches. I mean, a couple more inches up, and this is probably a touchdown. And the Bills are celebrating a red zone trip into the end zone. So it's a game of inches, and the Titans did a great job of not only spinning coverages in this, but making Josh Allen and the Bills receivers catch balls in traffic, even when they were in zone coverage. They were really tight windows for most of this game, whether it was man or zone, and this was one of those plays that I'm sure Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs wish they had back. 2nd and 9 situation, ball on the 29-yard line, 10:59 on the clock in the second quarter. The Bills are now down 7-6. Right there, you can see Josh pointing out who they are throwing hot off. So if this guy right here rushes, that's who he's responsible for, all right? And he's letting the offensive line know that, but he's also letting his hot receiver, Cole Beasley, know that. Now, on the snap, what ends up happening is that linebacker comes and they drop out a defensive end to the top of the screen. So it's a creeper pressure. It's still a 4-man rush. So it's not necessarily a hot route, but it's a sight adjustment from Josh Allen and Cole Beasley. But it looks like Cole Beasley misses it as he's running that curl. Like, he should be looking at Josh right now because the offensive line is sliding to their right, and Deion Dawkins has to execute a squeeze. So as that linebacker comes, he has to squeeze inside, pick him up. That makes Josh responsible for Landry right here off the edge. He's unblocked, and Josh needs to get rid of it right now. But Cole isn't looking, and Josh ends up taking the sack on this play. So you can see Josh and Beasley weren't on the same page on this play versus that creeper pressure. They get a free rusher at Josh. Josh is sacked. But fortunately for the Bills, the Titans are called for the unnecessary roughness. All right, on to 2nd and 7. Ball on the 44-yard line, 9:55 on the clock in the second quarter. Bills are still down 7-6. This is the throw from Josh Allen to Emmanuel Sanders to the bottom of the screen. Just a rope behind the corner, but in front of the safety. Great read from Allen. And you can see the play develop. Post-snap, watch what the Titans try to do. They bring Molden off the edge. They're disguising with him and Bayard prior to the play. If one of them is blitzing, they're disguising the coverage. But then as the ball snap, you see Molden come, and Josh Allen's looking right to the bottom of the screen, and there's a little shoulder fake right there. That gets Molden to kind of hesitate, but also gives time for the running back to come across the formation. And the Titans are trying to bait Josh Allen to throw it to Cole Beasley here on the option route. You see him release, but there's inside-out leverage on Beasley. If he goes inside, the linebacker has him. If Beasley chooses to run an out route, he's going to have Caleb Farley trapping it. So good leverage by the Titans on this play. So Josh just remains patient and waits for the hole to open up to Emmanuel Sanders. You see Diggs clearing it out up the seam. And then Sanders is going to sit right here in a soft little zone there in that void. And then Josh rifles it. Great anticipation from Josh. And just a good read overall on the play. He doesn't take the cheese underneath the Beasley. He instead remains patient and makes a throw down the field for the big play. All right, 1st and 10 situation, ball on the 35-yard line. 9:16 on the clock, second quarter. Bills are still down 7-6. You always hear me talk about leverage and how a defense, like the Bills defense, has to maintain leverage, whether that's a numbers advantage or spatial leverage. Well, the Titans do a good job on this play. Watch to the top of the screen on the snap. As the Bills have 3 eligibles to the top of the screen, the Titans end up picking up 5 guys on 3. So they're running like a box coverage. So this guy's going to scream out wide. This guy's staying over top. You got over-the-top help here. Here's your underneath defender. And then you even have the opposite safety, Bayard, kind of poaching to the middle of the field here. So they have really good numbers to the passing strength of the Bills formation. And the Bills are running a switch release concept and just running a zone beater. You see they basically have a couple hook routes and then an over route clearing here by Dawson Knox. Good coverage. And you see the linebackers scream to those curl routes, right? You see 58 get out wide, get under that one. Then you even see Evans kind of scream out wide here to Emmanuel Sanders. So by the time Josh gets to the top of the screen, after working the curl swing route to the bottom, Josh is basically now extending the play from the pocket. He is waiting for someone to uncover. He is waiting for someone to become QB friendly. Well, with Evans shutting this initial route down by Sanders, Sanders becomes QB friendly and finds another window, a secondary window for Josh Allen, and Josh is able to hit him flat-footed over the middle of the field. So watch it from the end zone angle. Curls taken away. You see Long screaming to the flats on the swing route. That's taken away, so now Josh is moving to the right side of the field. He's diagnosing what the safeties are doing, and now he's seeing how the linebackers are buzzing to those curls. Good pocket for him on this play. He hangs in there and makes the throw from the pocket in the secondary window to Emmanuel Sanders. 2nd and 8 situation, ball on the 14-yard line, 8:11 on the clock. Second quarter, Bills are still down 7-6. So you guys may remember this play. This is a play I think Diggs scored on last year versus the Patriots in the low red zone. So the Titans are showing basically a quarters type look with 4 secondary players over the top. Well, when that happens, when you have a 6-man box like this, that 7th guy is usually a safety having to come downhill. As you guys know, Hyde and Poyer do this all the time. So the Bills show an RPO. It's a power RPO, so Feliciano is pulling. That is a run read for the defense. That safety comes downhill, and allows Diggs, who's one-on-one with Jenkins on a skinny post, to get over the middle, and then a dot from Josh Allen for the touchdown. Now, it's pretty clear that there are a few offensive linemen down the field, but no flag on this play. There was no call for an illegal man downfield, and that allows Diggs to get one-on-one, and that throw from Josh Allen had some heat on it. Good job from Diggs of getting inside leverage and holding on to the ball for the touchdown. A red zone touchdown for the Bills offense. Still in the second quarter, 5:04 on the clock. First and 10 situation, ball on the 25-yard line. Bills are now up 13-10. As I said, the Titans did a great job in this game of spinning coverages post-snap. Here they show a two-high look, but on the snap, they rotate into a single high cover 3 type look, and this is the interception by Kevin Byard over the middle of the field there. Spencer Brown gets toasted on the pass rush, but let's take a look at it from the top. So what ends up happening here as the defense spins into cover 3, Josh, I believe, wants to get it to Sanders. Now, the route takes some time to develop, and it's one that they hit later in the game. But as Josh hits the top of his route and is waiting for that to unfold, I think he's now looking to check it down right here to Moss. And he is not able to get it to him because he's hit by Danico Autry, and the ball goes into the hands of Kevin Byard. So I do think Josh was working high to low Sanders to Moss on this play and trying to just get it to the underneath player here. But watch Brown to the left side of the screen. Really nice kick slide, but you see Autry beat his hands. You see as that two-handed punch comes up, watch that right hand of Brown get deflected right there. Nice chop, converts into an arm over, and then he closes and gets a piece of the ball for the interception. So tough rep and tough game for Spencer Brown overall. Those are the type of lumps that a rookie needs to take, especially at tackle. You know, being on an island by himself for a majority of the game. Unfortunately, this ends up in the hands of Byard, and it was a huge, huge play for the Titans. Second and 10 situation, ball on the 37-yard line. 2:59 on the clock towards the end of the second quarter. Bills are down 17-13. They send out their wave concept, so you have the deep crossing routes with a post over the top, and Josh somehow threads this ball in there. He's looking to the top of the screen to Beasley, who's running that option route. You see him kind of pivot outward to the boundary, but again, he's kind of bracketed with a corner squatting and this underneath linebacker right there. And watch these two defenders converge on the check down right there. And as they do, Josh finds Diggs on that over route right there in the window. Just a hell of a throw while under duress here versus the Titans. Up the middle, you see Josh get a little pressure as Morse gets dropped to the turf. Hell of a throw through traffic. This is the better angle. Watch the game by the Titans up the middle. They're going to send Simmons up the field as the penetrator into this A-gap, and Morse has to obviously engage him, and then they're going to bring Autry on a twist right here. And as Morse comes off that initial block of Simmons and passes him on to Williams, you see him trying to get back in position on Autry, and he's trying to wall him off. He's trying to widen the pocket this way with him, but Autry comes back with a nice counter. He gets that arm under the armpit of Morse right there, and then executes a hump move, and that just sends Morse to the ground and puts Autry right in the lap of Josh Allen. But look at Allen under pressure. Look at him manipulating the pocket ever so slightly, working through his progressions, and then right there he sees Diggs flash across the screen, and he's able to fit it in there to the inside to Diggs. Just a heck of a play by Josh Allen on this. This is pretty amazing stuff under duress from the quarterback through traffic for the first down. Second and 8 situation, 1:48 on the clock. Second quarter, 17-13. The Titans are up. So again, you see Diggs to the bottom of the screen on a comeback route, and then just a little check down curl to Knox as the number 2 to the bottom of the screen. And just watch what the Titans do at the top of the screen. Here comes Molden. You see Beasley adjust. He becomes a sight adjustment. But because the Bills have it blocked up really well, Josh doesn't have to throw it to the sight adjustment there. You see the edge defender right here drop out underneath. You have a corner over the top. And it's just an easy comeback route to Diggs. But the Titans still do a good job of kind of clogging the passing lanes. It's something that they did a really good job of, even in their zone coverage, was they almost knew the landmarks of where these throws were supposed to go. Look at this defender right here. He's basically right in the passing lane. But because Josh is able to take a little something off it, add a little pace to the ball, he gets it up and over that defender for the first down. So great, decisive read by Josh Allen on this play, recognizes the coverage. The offensive line holds it down so that he can hit the top of his drop and throw in rhythm for the first down. So a few plays later, the Bills face 3rd and 13. 47 seconds on the clock. Second quarter, Bills are still down 17-13. The Bills send Beasley in motion to the top of the screen and run a post wheel concept. Josh extends the play here, gets outside the pocket to his right, and is able to find Beasley down the field for the touchdown. So let's look at the coverage from the Titans. As I said, they spun coverage really well in this game, and this play was no different. It's just the Bills had a better play call for this. So they spin into an inverted Tampa 2 cover 2 type look with the corners playing the deep halves and the safeties playing underneath. One that sends the corner back to the deep half, and you can see everyone else kind of playing underneath. You have a deep hole player in the linebacker gaining depth down the middle of the field, and he helps take away this post. But the corner has to understand that he needs to be on his divider. He needs to split the difference between the post and this possible wheel. Jenkins doesn't, and that allows Josh to find Beasley down the field for an explosive play and touchdown before half. So like we saw earlier in the game, here is that set again with Landry inside. And of course, off the line of scrimmage, they run a twist. He is the penetrator this time. And now here comes Dupree on the twist. And Josh feels that. He sees that looking, because he's looking to the front side of this play. He feels that and wants to leave the pocket, rightfully so. Dupree has the inside lane on Feliciano. This edge defender right here doesn't do a good job of containing Josh. He doesn't get to Josh's depth to keep him in the pocket there. Josh escapes, and he's able to make a big play down the field for the touchdown. All right, into the second half we go. First and 10 situation, ball on the 44-yard line, 12:55 on the clock. Bills are up 20-17. Here is just another play where the defense spins post-snap, this time into a cover 3 look. On the creeper, they send the linebacker. They drop out Dupree to the top of the screen. It's a cover 3 zone look. They defend the middle of the field really well. And Josh wants to hit Davis to the bottom of the screen on that deep comeback. But as that safety rotated down into that cover 3 sky look, he helps take that away. He is the underneath defender there and is almost baiting Josh right now. You know, he should have more width. I think he's baiting Josh to throw this so that he could pick it off. Josh sees it from a mile away, moves on in his progressions. Now he's looking to the seam read over the middle with Beasley right here, working on Dupree, working behind that edge defender. He becomes QB friendly, and Josh finds him for the first down. I really liked Josh Allen's patience coming out of the half and his ability to work the underneath stuff. You know, he gets pressure up the middle from the linebacker here in long, but he trusts that Dawson Knox and even the running back, Motor Singletary, are able to pick him up. He has a nice pocket here. He works through his progressions. He waits for his receivers to uncover late in the play. That guy is Cole Beasley behind Bud Dupree, who dropped out into the underneath area. And then you have a first down for the Bills. First and 10 situation, ball on the 38-yard line, 2:56 on the clock, third quarter. Bills are now down 24-23. The Titans once again show a too-high look pre-snap, but watch Molden in the slot and how he's kind of toying with Josh Allen and whether he's coming or not on this play. Post-snap, they rotate into a cover 3 look. So you see that safety come down to the top of the screen, and they rotate into a single high cover 3 look. Well, that puts Molden at a disadvantage just because they were toying with Josh prior to the snap, because he has to help Cole Beasley clear right there. But now he has to get into the underneath area and gain all that width back to the bottom of the screen. Josh hits the top of his drop at the 30-yard line and ends up hitting Emmanuel Sanders right there at the 49 or 48-yard line on that little stop route, on that comeback route. What a throw from Josh Allen from the right hash, again, at the 30-yard line to Sanders. Great read post-snap as the Titans started to drop out into some cover 3 type looks in the second half, and Josh was on point with his throws. Look at the layer and the velocity on this throw from Allen. Nice work from the quarterback to start the second half. So the Bills end up scoring a touchdown on this 9-play, 72-yard drive. This occurs on 3rd and 1 at the end of the third quarter. Basically, the Bills run a mesh concept in the low red zone here, and they find Sweeney along the back line. Josh does a great job of extending this play as long as he can and finding one of the last options in Tommy Sweeney in the back of the end zone. You can even see a little of the trickery right here. Here's Ryan Bates trying to leak out right here, but the Titans do a good job of picking him up. And Josh does take a peek at him right there. He's peeking back there. He's covered up. The leverage is by Sweeney on Landry right there along the back line. And Josh makes an incredible throw for the touchdown. This is a play that we saw last year, I believe against the Chargers, where Zach Moss picked up Bosa along the edge, just like he picks up the edge defender here. Look at the block by Moss right there. And that allows Josh to get outside of the pocket. Knox is taken away, so now he is extending the play right here, rolling out to his right. But you see that Sweeney has the leverage on the Titans defender there. But I don't think this throw will get enough appreciation. I mean, it is a dime bag from Josh Allen here. Half roll, but he's able to muster up enough velocity and accuracy and placement on this throw as he's fading away and rolling to his right. I mean, he puts it right on the hands of Sweeney for the touchdown. His first touchdown of his career. Just a great call in the red zone, one that we've seen in the past, an area of the field where Brian Daboll loves to use his tight ends, and this time he uses the backup tight end, Tommy Sweeney, for the touchdown. So we are in the fourth quarter, 2:54 on the clock, 1st and 10 situation. Ball on the 18-yard line. The Bills are down a field goal, 34-31. Bills are in a 3-by-1 set, and Josh Allen hits Sanders to the bottom of the screen. They have their dagger concept to the top of the screen called. Again, that 3-by-1 set we saw earlier in the game, and what the Titans did a good job of was maintaining leverage in numbers to the top. So you saw 4 over 3, but then you also saw Byard kind of poaching, as I outlined earlier in this breakdown. Well, Josh sees that immediately. He sees that safety poaching. He sees that 5 over 4. That means he has Sanders, his isolated receiver at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one. So he immediately flips his eyes to that side of the field. Sanders' approach is a little different. So he takes a best release concept. He doesn't just release out wide, because you see the corner take good leverage. He starts inside, but then jumps and squares up. And so he kind of stems them outside, but then gets inside leverage on that corner. So it's the best release. It's the quickest release for him on this play. And I think that kind of catches Josh off guard here, because the throw is back outside. So he's thinking that Sanders is going to stack this corner and kind of fade outside here. He has complete separation vertically on that corner. And if Josh leads him up the field, it's probably a touchdown. But Josh releases it, and it's outside, and he has Sanders kind of fade away, and Sanders adjusts to this ball beautifully. Just good work of getting an explosive, getting that chunk play to start a drive. That is the type of play you want as a drive starter at the end of the game right here. Yes, it could have been a bigger play, but that chunk play was incredibly important to this drive. So here it is from the end zone angle. Post-snap, again, he's looking to his left on the right hash here. He immediately recognizes the coverage, goes back to Sanders, and he gets a little pressure in his face. I wonder if that's why he kind of closes off that front hip. He doesn't rotate through. His left foot gets stuck in the ground. Maybe that's why it affected this throw here. But either way, watch this adjustment by Emmanuel Sanders. Works back across the body of that Titans corner and is able to bring that pass. And that was a huge play at midfield for the Bills. Same drive, 1st and 10, ball on a 39-yard line, 1:50 on the clock. We're in the fourth quarter. Bills are down a field goal. Bills send out a 2-by-2 10 personnel grouping, and Josh extends the play and somehow finds Gabriel Davis over the middle as he's fading away along the numbers for a big play. So let's take a look at it from the beginning. So you see them try to attack to the bottom of the screen with Diggs. It looks like he wants a double move, but then realizes that the corner recovers quite well, so he hooks it up. Josh goes into that scramble mode after that little pump fake to Diggs, and now he's looking at Davis, and I think if the middle of the field opened up better than it did here, I think he hits Davis. But you see both underneath defenders are in pretty good position to kind of shut this play down if it was thrown on schedule here. So Josh extends the play, gets outside of the pocket, and you see Davis then pivot back towards the numbers, and Josh hits him over the middle of the field for the big play. So here it is from the end zone angle. Again, little pump fake right there to Diggs, and now he's looking to Davis. He moved that hook to curl defender just a little bit, but I think If he throws this right there, there's a chance that Davis maybe drifts into coverage, drifts into the linebacker right there, and maybe takes a big hit. So he extends a play. He has Simmons coming into his face on a twist right there. He gets outside of the pocket, and then just watch this throw. I mean, the type of core strength and hip strength that you have to make this throw on the run back across the field with that type of velocity on a rope from the 42, 3-yard line to the 17-yard line. That is just unreal athleticism and unreal arm talent from the talented quarterback, Josh Allen. Now, I know it was a disappointing game and it didn't end the way that we as Bills fans wanted, but Josh Allen and the Bills offense, I thought, did enough to win this game. You saw him play with heart. You saw him bounce back with the offense when the Titans were scoring at will in the second half. Josh Allen did what he could to will this team to a win. Everyone will remember this call, this QB sneak at the goal line, but I believe it was a good call. All the numbers point to it as the correct call when you look at all of the analytics. Now, it just wasn't executed good enough. You got to control the line of scrimmage, and the Bills didn't for most of this game, especially when they wanted to run the ball. What content can you expect from me during the bye week? I plan on analyzing these situations, taking a look at the red zone issues, whether it's the run or pass, and seeing what the Bills are doing different from last year when they were a top 10 DVOA red zone offense. They obviously have some struggles. Obviously, the defenses are covering them different and challenging them in different ways. We got to see what the Bills are having issues with so that during the bye week, they can self-scout and come back out and go on another run like they did last year. So until we see each other again in the film room, I'm your host, Eric Turner. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon.